Good afternoon, Mr. Witness. You may kindly sit down. Mr. Witness, may I remind you that you are still on the oath for continuation of your testimony before this Commission of Inquiry into Local Government Councils and related matters.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, I hand over the witness to you.
Mr. Ture, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
You're welcome back.
Thank you.
Council, you may proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, we were able to locate some of the files that were sent in respect of the minutes of meetings. Can you just look at these files and verify that these are the files that you had sent to the Commission?
I have these documents to tender. I have two other documents to tender as per request.
Okay, so if you
Yes.
just give those to the Assistant Registrar while you confirm the files. But tell us what documents those are first.
One is the recommendation for the letter to the chairman, Basse Area Council, recommendation for the internal auditors to conduct an internal audit exercise on the finances of Basse Area Council. Two is a report from the finance subcommittee of Basse Area Council, a task force report.
Thank you.
Yes, I could remember submitting these files.
Pardon?
I remember submitting these files, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
just 1 minute.
What is the question again?
Pardon?
The question?
No, I asked you to confirm that those were the files that you submitted to the Commission. Okay, so one of these is a letter to the chairman
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
for recommending for internal audit exercise to be conducted.
Yes, ma'am.
And then the other one is the task force report that you were talking about.
Yes.
Okay. Chairperson, I apply to tender actually, these are all photocopies.
Yes, they are all photocopies.
And where would the originals
The
be?
originals will be in Basse.
Can you get can you get us original copies as well so that we can compare? Thanks. Chairperson, I apply to tender the copies of the letter written by Usman Ture to the chairman. It doesn't say what chairman of what, but it's dated 30th August 2022, and the report of the task force on financial management of the council 2022, dated 31st October 2022.
Yes, ma'am. I confirm submitting these files.
Okay. Just 1 minute.
A letter dated the 30th of August 2022, addressed to the Chairman, Basse Area Council, with the heading Recommendation for Internal Audit Exercise to be conducted on the finances of Bassa Area Council, routine and signed by Usman Toure, CEO Bassa Area Council, copied to Director of Finance and Director of Planning. And a report of the Task Force on Financial Management of the Council 2022 dated 31st of October 2022. Signed by Honorable Seni Kanute, Chair to the committee, and also Omar Rame, a PRO, Bassa Area Council, Secretary to the committee, are hereby admitted together and marked as LGC/OT/CEO/BSAC/007.
As the commission, please. Very grateful. Assistant Registrar, can I please have those exhibits? So, Mr. Toure, can you take us through the different, there are 4 files, right? Can you tell us which files they are?
We have the establishment committee file.
Okay.
We have the development subcommittee file.
Okay.
We have the finance subcommittee file.
Okay.
And we have the general council, minutes of the general council meeting file.
And the what, sir?
The minutes of general council meetings.
Okay. So those are the 4 files.
Yes.
Okay. Chairperson, sorry. Can I have the files, please? You can take onto the chair. Chairperson, I apply to tender the 4 files that contain the minutes of the 3 subcommittee meetings and the general council meetings for Bassa Area Council that have been identified by the witness.
The following files submitted by the witness, Mr. Usman Ture, are admitted and marked as follows. The Establishment Committee minutes of meetings from 2019 to 2023 is admitted and marked as LGC/OT/CEO/BSAC/008. The Development Subcommittee minutes from 2019 to 2023 are admitted and marked as LGC/OT/CEO/BSAC/009. The Finance Committee minutes of meetings from 2019 to 2023 are admitted and marked as LCG/OT/CEO/BSAC/010. The General Council minutes of meeting from 2019 to 2023 are hereby admitted in evidence and marked as LGC/OT/CEO/BSAC/011.
As the Commission pleases. So, Mr. Ture,
Yes.
we'll just go through the report of the task force.
Yes.
Now, it says that the Task Force Committee on Financial Management of the Council was formed by the General Council on 30th September 2022. And it was during a General Council meeting, and it comprises of all the heads of the subcommittees. This came as a result of the poor financial management system of the Council and the breach of the $15 million loan repayment with Vista Bank and Supersonics Microfinance. The committee interviewed 11 staff from the Finance Department from 5th October 2022 to 30th October 2022. The committee also reviewed the GTR's cash books and bank slips and bank statements for Vista Supersonics Trust Bank, Ajib Bank, Reliance, and Eco Bank. So can you tell us what they meant about the breach of the $15 million loan repayment with Vista Bank and Supersonics Microfinance?
Yeah, it's about the council being default in terms of the payments.
Yeah, I understand that part. What was the payment? What was the payment arrangement? What was the agreement, and how did they default?
That every month we should be paying for a period of 3 years. So it should be finished within 3 years. So which means if you calculate the loan amount and the interest within the 3 years, every month we have a substantial amount that we should pay, but we defaulted in that. So there was an instant, Supersonic have been following us. They came, their management came to the council. So the councillors were also invited to that meeting. That is what they are referring to.
Was this in 2022 or is this recent?
This was in the early part of 2023.
2023?
Sorry, mid-2022.
Mid-2022?
Yes.
So that would have been before this report?
Before this report, yes.
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. Assistant Registrar, can you give me the Finance Subcommittee file? Also, do you have the 2023 budget? If you check in there. Mr. Ture, did Lamisuso did he provide a report to the council when he was leaving or before he left, I think about May 2023, to talk about the status of different areas of the council? He had informed the commission that he provided a report to the council.
The report was shared to the incoming acting finance director and the acting CEO.
So would you have a copy of that?
No, I do not have a copy of that.
Would you be able to get a copy of it from?
I'll find out, yes.
Okay. Also, do you happen to have a copy of the budget for 2023?
I submitted the copies of the budget from 2019 to 2023 to the investigators.
Yes. Do you have a copy?
I only have a soft copy,
Okay.
yes.
So we'll look for the budget and then get back to that.
Okay.
Now, the task force report is saying that their observations and outcomes are listed. And they said that the number of registered businesses in the system that was presented to the committee is 175. And we have noticed that more than 2,700 businesses are in the Upper River region. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, during their investigation, they realized that the number of business that was given to them, and when they went on the ground to find for themselves, differs.
Sorry, can you speak into the mic? It's
I
very
say,
difficult for me to hear.
before they start the investigation, the information that they received from the finance department, and when they went on the ground, what they found on the ground and what they were given differs.
So they're saying that the information in the system shows 175 businesses.
Yes,
Which system would this be?
it's the IFMIS system.
Is the IFMIS system? And
So,
who inputs that data in the system?
Not the IFMIS system, it's the digital tax collection, the 5C system.
And who would put that information into the system?
Based on the collectors, what they collect from the field, that's what the IT officer will do the input.
So it is the IT officer will put in the details that the collectors, but isn't there a list? Because from what the collectors have said before the commission is that there's a list of all the businesses in the different areas that they're supposed to collect. So each person, when they log into the system or when they log into the machine with their passcode or whatever, it'll give them a list of the areas and the businesses that they should collect from.
Yes, that is true.
Okay, so who provides the data that has been put into the system?
Normally, we have what is called assessment. They go on assessment, and what they collect from that assessment, that what is being inputted into the 5C system.
And it is put in by whom? The IT officer?
By the IT officer.
So who checks to make sure that it is the correct amount of businesses or the correct number of businesses that actually operate in Basse that is put into the system?
The IT officer will work with the licensing manager to know the number of businesses in Basse.
So each of the different managers, license, rates and taxes,
The rate and tax will
markets,
also, yes.
mistress, so they would give the details to the IT officer.
Yes.
So they misstated or they understated the businesses in Basse by over 2,500.
Yes. That's
And-
what the task force have discovered.
Okay. Now, they've also said that the director of finance was found going to do collections in the weekends with the wrong revenue collectors in license without informing and consulting the license manager. And he's interfering in the collection of the demand notes, which is fully under the license manager. And the demand notes, are those for the rates?
The demand notes are the ones that we send to the banks and to other finance institutions like NAWEC, GAMTEL, GAMCEL, GGC. So normally, it's the license manager who normally comes to Combo here to make a follow-up on that. But when Director Suso came there, that trend has changed. Instead of the license manager, he will come on the ground himself. That's
But
what they have seen there.
The banks, do they not usually deposit their fees directly into the council accounts that they hold with them?
For the banks, yes, they deposit. The banks will deposit into their accounts.
So then how does Lamin Suso have access to?
No, he comes here. For the banks, we don't have problem with that. It's the NAWEC, GAMTEL, GAMCEL, AFICEL, QCEL, GGC, and before then the Port Authority before.
So are you saying that he goes to these businesses to collect their fees himself?
Yes.
And do they pay to him?
They pay to him in checks.
In checks?
Yes,
In his name or in the council's name?
in the council's name.
Okay, so then he would pay those checks into the council's
To
account?
the council's account, yes.
All of them?
We still have areas.
When you say you still have areas, do you mean
There are some,
the businesses have not paid all of their taxes, or they've been paid to somebody else?
they have not paid, they have not complete the payment, like Gamcel have not paid anything yet. Gamtel is yet to complete, and Officer.
And has the council done anything about collecting the areas? Have
Well,
you taken legal action? Have you
We did
written
not-
to the various businesses?
I did not write formally, or neither the Director of Finance, but we, anytime they have such problems, they will fall back to me, and I'll make calls to make a follow-up with those institutions.
So I think this is something that has been asked of the Director of Finance and several of your staff. When you make phone calls to follow up and you make phone calls, you have verbal discussions about things, how do you prove that you actually did this? Because nobody's going to go back into your phone records to check that you called somebody years ago. Why do you conduct your business so informally, considering that it's not your personal issue, it's an institution. And when you go, somebody else should be able to come open files and find documents. Nobody needs to call you to ask you what happened. So why is it that at that council you conduct all your official business so informally?
Yes, those are very serious lapses.
Now, one of the other observations is that one GTR book was missing, and it stated that it is for treasury use, and it was later submitted to the CEO by the Director of Finance. The director claimed that the GTR book was missing, but it was under his custody, because after the committee reviewed the book, we found out that the book has been used by Manlafi Baji to collect rates and taxes, arrears, and hawkers from 2021 to 2022, amounting to $12,220. Mankumane was also using the book to collect lodgers from 2021 to 2022, and there is no bank slip to prove that the money was taken to the bank, amounting to $10,250. We also found that some of the activities that occurred in the book was an unknown collector, simply because we couldn't ascertain the signature. The Director of Finance is wholly and solely responsible for that, hence the book was under his custody. 85 GTR receipts were used for the wrong purpose, amounting to $49,500 from 11 July to 29th August 2022. Some of the receipts bears the signatures of Manlafi Baji and Mankumane under the verbal directives of the director. There was no bank slip shown to the committee after all these transactions to prove that the monies collected were deposited to the banks. Now first, I'd ask, you have custody of the GTR books, right?
It was later after this report, then I impounded all the GTRs and bring them to my custody.
But it was you that decided that GTR should stop being used from 2020, right?
Yes.
So this was mid-2020.
Yes.
When you put an embargo on GTR books, why did you not collect all of them?
Because I left them, both the GTRs and the bank, the checks, they are all under the custody of the director.
But
So
your manual says that they should be under your custody, right?
Yes.
And you should have a ledger or something where you note all the serial numbers of all the books that you have.
Yes.
So when you stopped them from using the manual GTR books, why did you not impound them as you're meant to do?
Because the letter regarding the stoppage of the GTR was since 2020. So since 2020, the books were under the former director's custody, and there was no problem. So I was with the same hope that nothing will happen to them, and we'll all go by the rules governing the stoppage of the GTR to go back to the digital machines.
I'm not sure what I want to ask in respect of that, but you assume that everybody would go according to the rules.
Yes,
Even though when you came to the council, you found that there were some issues about following rules.
Yes.
You stopped GTR books, which are security documents.
Yes.
I mean, it's so serious that only one printer is permitted under the law to print it, because there are financial implications and implications of fraud, etc.
Yes.
You have them with your revenue collectors, you have them with your director of finance, they're out there. You stop them, but you don't take them back.
Yes, I never took them back.
And you're saying you didn't do this because you trusted that everybody would follow the rules, even though you had all indications that this would not happen.
Because I never thought that they will that they will go back and use the GTR without my notice.
How would you notice that they're using the GTRs? I mean, they've been using it from 2021. It's only towards the end of 2022 that there's a report showing that they're using GTRs.
Because I believe that the communication was written, so when there's going to be any change in that communication, we'll write back.
Did you not issue a memo to the staff at some point telling them to, so you issued the one in 2020 about pre-financing. Yes. You issued a memo to the staff telling them not to pay, that they should pay all monies directly into the banks.
Yes.
Did they follow this? Did you not still have staff that were doing the opposite?
They did not follow it.
So why would you think that they would follow this? And you left the council security documents at large?
Yes, all those things come to me as unexpected and as a surprise, because I was not expecting that the issue of bringing physical cash to the council will happen after the letter, and I was not expecting that after the letter, stopping the GTRs, nobody will use the GTRs again.
So you're familiar with the financial manual, so
yes.
You know what I'm talking about. Now the manual has rules, because the manual does not think like a normal human being. Yes. It already knows that everybody can do something wrong, right? So because it knows that, it has said, follow these rules. It doesn't matter what you think. You're not supposed to think too much. Follow these rules and you'll be fine. So I'm just wondering why you decided not to follow those rules and expect anything other than what has happened to happen.
Yeah, because like you said, the manual stated that the CEO should be the custodians of all the council documents. But again, I also delegate the responsibility of the checkbooks and other things to the Director of Finance. As in some parts of the manual also, he has the responsibility to take care of those materials.
Does that
was the only reason I left it with him. I never expect that things will turn this way.
But does the manual not also say, even though you have delegated some of your functions, you are still responsible for those functions that you have delegated?
Yes.
Right. So saying that you delegated it to the Director of Finance does not absolve you. Is that right?
I agree with you.
All right. So let me just... Chair, I don't know whether you have any questions. Let me just look for the provisions on the security documents.
Can I please have the exhibits? The ones he submitted to us and we admitted. Mr. Ture.
Yes.
The letter you wrote on the 15th of November 2022
yes.
Did indicate that you noticed that the GTRs are being used by the CEO and some collectors.
The director and some collectors.
Yes.
Yes.
Is that not what you reported to the permanent secretary?
Yes.
So why didn't you collect the GTRs as at that time to prevent a situation where the Director of Finance and the collectors would stop using it, since you had given a directive that the GTRs should not be used they should use the machines only. And why didn't you collect them as at that period?
Yes, I should have collected them at that period.
So what happened?
But I did not collect them.
Why?
Because I never expect that the GTRs will be used while we are concurrently with the digital machines.
No, it cannot be because you thought it will never happen. Because you already knew that they're using it. That is what I'm saying. I said, as per this letter dated 15th of November,
Yes.
you knew that, because it is in this letter that you said, if I may read to you, you said, it also came to the attention of the office of the CEO that the Director of Finance was found on several occasions using the GTR receipts to collect revenue from hawkers and petty traders. And these monies obviously are never banked, right?
Yes.
The Director of Finance continued this act even after the office of the CEO wrote to him to totally stop the use of GTRs amidst the coming of the digital tax collection. That is your statement.
Yes, after this letter, I decided to collect the machines from him. Sorry, the GTRs from him. Currently, they are all, I handed all of them to the current CEO.
You handed all of the GTRs to the current CEO?
Yes, yes. Because at the time of the tax force investigation, all the GTRs were with me except for the one that was missing.
Did you see the one that was missing?
Yeah, later we were able to see it from the office of the Director of Finance.
But given the files and the system audit,
yes,
that is submitted on the system audit was submitted on the 11th of April. This system audit did highlight the fact that the GTRs were still in use. And some of the witnesses that appeared before this commission, particularly some of the collectors, did say that the Director of Finance the Director of Finance accompanies them to the field to collect tax, and they use GTR receipts. So it cannot be true that you collected these GTRs, all of them, because if not, it would not have been captured in the system audit, and the collectors would not have given that sort of evidence. You can tell us what actually happened because you are the CEO.
Yes. These GTRs, when they came, when I received them from...
When actually did you collect all the GTRs from Mr. Suso?
I think sometime in October.
October of which year?
October 2023.
Yes. But this was written on the 15th of November 2022, almost a year after you had complained. And this letter...
Oh, no, it's 2022. I collected the GTRs.
Are you changing your evidence?
Yeah, yes, I collected the GTRs in 2022, late 2022.
Late 2022?
Yes.
But then how is it that the system audit was able to capture those issues to state that GTRs were being used even though you were using the POS?
Yes, when they came, they worked with the internal auditor, and the internal auditor fed them with that information, with other reports.
Pardon? I did not get what
I said when they came,
yes,
they worked with the council's internal auditor,
yes,
and the council internal auditor gave them the information that despite council using the digital machines, there are collectors that are using the GTR on the directives of the
yes, but that is
director.
why I am telling you, it will not be correct if you say you collected the whole of the GTRs except for one which was missing. It could not have been correct. Am I not correct?
Yeah, because these GTRs that I have collected.
No, answer the question.
Yeah,
Am I correct?
You might, yes.
Yes. Then explain.
Yes, these GTRs
Yes.
that I have collected,
Yeah.
they are all listed in their serial numbers.
Yes.
And normally, it's only one person that I trust when I'm working with the GTRs. That is Maulam Keru.
Modu Lamin?
Keru.
Keru.
When I collected all the GTR, I asked him to bring the book, the choir book, where we have the list of all the serial numbers of the GTRs. So we reconcile, and still there was this one meeting.
So now the question is it possible that Modu Lamin Keru has been using the GTRs without your knowledge?
No, he didn't have access to the GTR. The GTRs were with, between Malafi Baji and Director of Finance. I only call him to my office to help me to reconcile.
And then after that, you give it back to them?
No, when I could not remember actually when I took over these GTRs impounded these GTRs from them.
But that is why I am saying. I am saying
Yes.
that the system audit indicated that, you understand, up to the time they finished their audit and submitted the report, and this audit was submitted, the final report was submitted to you on the 11th of April, 2023. Right?
I could remember Maulam Keru is the audit focal person.
Yes.
So when these auditors came, they came to my office with that book and took all the GTRs, except for that one that is missing. Okay. And when this task force also was then doing their exercise, he came and collect all the GTRs except for that missing one.
Okay.
Because when we reconcile, we discover that there is still one missing, and we are making follow-up. This is why it features in all these reports.
Now, let me, do you have a copy of the 2019 audit report?
No, I don't have the copy of the 2019 report.
Let me give you the 2019 audit report, and you look at this and clarify for us.
Okay.
Now, take a look at the trial balance for the year ended 31st December 2019. And kindly tell me, because you have signed as the CEO and the Director of Finance signed, and it was dated 9th of March 2021. Please tell me from this trial balance, what is the gross for salaries?
Thank you.
I note that for every department,
Yes.
It is segregated under the various departments.
Yes.
And allocations were made pursuant to the salaries of those people in those various departments.
Yes.
So cumulatively, what is your gross salary payment to council staff? You are ready?
I know during this time, the plan and development.
I'm asking for what you pay as salary, gross.
Unless I add it, you have 2.7 million for chairman's office.
It's more than 2.7 million.
No, they are all being segregated. They are not put together.
Yeah?
In that 2019, the salaries were not.
Do you have the budget for 2019?
Maybe I have the. I don't have the hard copy.
You don't have the budget with you for 2019?
I submitted all of them to the investigators.
Please note and let us deal with it later on.
Okay.
Yes. You don't have the budget here. Council, you may proceed.
Thank you. So, Mr. Ture, so I
Yes.
just refer you to 405 of the Finance and Accounting Manual.
Okay.
Now, it's saying that the receipts, and so it says all receipts, license books, and forms used in connection with collection of revenue as security documents. The chief executive shall arrange for these documents to be printed by the approved printer under strict security conditions and ensures that they are fully accounted for. No other books or forms may be locally produced, used, or improvised by the employees of the council. Whenever counterfoil receipts and license books are required, the Director of Finance, through the Chief Executive, shall place the order with GPPC or any government-approved printer through the Department of State for Local Government, Lands, and Religious Affairs. Sufficient notice should be given to the printing corporation to ensure that the documents are available on the required date and before existing stock is fully exhausted. Only the Director of Finance or other staff designated by the Chief Executive will be allowed to take delivery of receipts and license books. Receipts and license books, when not in use, must be kept under lock and key in a fireproof safe at all times. They should be considered as cash itself and should be treated as such. The main stocks of unused official receipts and forms will be under the control of the Director of Finance, who will take stock of all revenue earning books and receipts on hand at least once in a month to ensure adequate stocks are available for the following month. Now, it's essentially gone through, and that you should keep a register of the revenue earning books in which will be recorded every receipt issued, return, and reissue of these documents. Right? The register should have the details of the dates of the receipts or issue, the serial numbers of each book, the names and signatures of officers to whom the books are issued, the names and signatures of officers making the returns and the dates of the return by those officers, the name and signature of the officer to whom returns are made, the maximum and minimum stock levels. Do you have this register?
We have it, yes.
So were you able to tell that a book was missing?
That was the book. It is because of that record that we are able to know that that particular book is with the Director of Finance. Because whoever is issued with the GTR, they have to sign agency.
So this book was used from 2021.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you had the register then, but
Yes.
It was only discovered in October 2022 that the book was missing and being used, even though you have the register.
Yeah, we only realized that the book is missing when I requested for all the books. There was a time we realized that there is one book missing.
So if you had, but you agree that if you had impounded all the books at the time that you said nobody should use them, there would be no situation like this where your staff are using the books to go and collect revenue that they're not accounting for to the council.
You are very right.
Pardon?
I said you are right.
One of the other observations that they have made is that a total of $30,884,954 was deposited to the council account from January to October 2022. This excludes the $15 million loan from Vista and Supersonics. The committee found out that the council has less than $70,000 as income from October 11, 2022, and we are defaulted in all the banks except Ajib and EcoBank, and the EcoBank account was closed in 2021. I'm not sure, do you understand what they meant?
Yes.
Okay, can you tell us?
This is correct. at the time of their investigation, the accounts were, that is Vista, were indebted, Supersonic were indebted. I think those were the two banks that we are indebted with, and Trust Bank.
Okay, so they've had several series of revenue collectors listed that have not paid money into Supersonics or Vista. It appears, well, from the report, it looks like they were informed that they needed to make payments to those banks because of the debt that the council had with the banks. Who informs the revenue collectors which bank they should pay to?
It's the Director of Finance.
Because most of them who came said that they only paid to Vista. It's only a few who've been paying to other banks. Do you inform the Director of Finance what banks to pay to?
Normally we discuss about it, then we'll advise he will advise the collectors, but we will discuss about it.
And these discussions are never reduced to writing?
No.
They have said that the cash books of the market mistress is not correspondent with the bank deposit slips. Which market mistress is this?
At that time, I think the market mistress was our charm.
And did anything come out of this for our cham?
No, this report was never implemented.
No part of the report was implemented.
No.
Why was that?
This report at the General Council, when they reported it, it was not completed, and since then, before it was completed, we found it on the social media.
What does that have to do with anything?
So they never completed, and it was never implemented.
There are 14 recommendations in this report.
Yes.
None of them were implemented.
None of them were implemented.
And did the General Council sit over the report to decide whether or not to implement it?
They sat over it, but they have not passed any resolution for it to be implemented.
When they sat over it, what was their conclusion at the meeting?
The conclusion of the meeting was that the report should not be circulated because it's a sensitive report, and the people who have conducted the findings are not qualified accountants, so therefore the findings of the reports should not be shared, it should be kept. So I'm not so
if
somebody somewhere was not happy with that, and before we knew it, the following day we saw it on the social media. Alcamba Times published it.
If the General Council was going to have issue with the qualifications of the people in its finance committee,
yes,
why does it have a finance committee? Because you can't on one breath say that you're the finance committee or you're the audit committee, this is your role, this is what you need to do, this is what we need you to do, and they have the power to co-opt any expert they want to co-opt.
yes.
And then in the next breath they will actually report, you're not accountants, so all these things that you have uncovered, we can't rely on them because you're not qualified accountants.
That was the mind of the General Council at the end of their investigation. And I think there is another report after this one. I'm trying to print it, but it was not able to load. Maybe when I go, I will send it. I will try to get it again.
Okay, we'd like to see that report.
After this report, there was another report, but none of those reports were implemented.
So is it that the General Council just, I'm not sure whether it meets for the sake of meeting, because what's the point of giving people work to investigate or to look into matters if you're going to disregard the reports that they come up with? It's one thing if you're providing genuine reasons why you should not, for some reason you don't agree with the position, but to say that you're going to disregard it because of something like that, I'm not quite sure.
Those reasons, among other reasons, are the reasons why we decided to bring over the auditors from the ministry, because we know that those people, their reports, we don't have control over that report, like what is happening today.
Okay, so they said that the fuel purchase of the council is not standardized, and this leads to a misuse of fuel by the council staff, and there was a period that the fuel supply wasn't recorded for almost 6 months under the supervision of Ndaba Krubeli and the Director of Finance. And then somewhere else where they said the fuel per staff was also reviewed, and we found that Mohammed Jawane, the procurement officer, has the highest fuel supply to himself. Fuel purchase from May to September 2022. Admin, $255,738.32 bututs. Chairman, $123,911. Tesito, $25,127. Planning unit, $174,355.63 bututs. Support, $52,375.22 bututs. And that made up a total of $631,507.70 bututs. So in the space of, this is May, June, July, August, September, 4 months, the council uses $631,000 worth of fuel. And there's only a few of you that have cars. How
Yes.
is this?
Yeah, because we have the tractors on the plan and development.
How many tractors do you have? Is it not 3?
Yes,
Okay, you have a car.
yes,
The Director of Finance has a car.
yes.
Which other cars do you have?
And the chairman.
The chairman has a car.
Yes.
So the three cars, 3 tractors.
Yes,
In 6 months, $631,000. I see your procurement officer also has 100 and...
that is for the
Sorry.
motorbikes.
For the motorbikes.
Yes. The
Which one is the motorbike? Support or admin?
No, the collectors motorbikes, they are under the procurement.
Okay, so you have fuel for admin and you have fuel for support.
Yes.
What is admin and what is support?
Admin, that is the office of the CEO. Then
So you're the one that spent the $255,738 on fuel
on fuel.
in 4 months.
Yes. Because most
I
of the
need
time
your
the
fuel
vehicle
allocation.
is used for trekking.
Pardon?
I say most of the time the vehicle is used for trekking.
Sorry, what did you say?
I say most of the time they use my vehicle to go on trek.
Okay.
But when they're using your vehicle to go on trek, should the fuel, not even should, isn't the fuel that they're given from, would it not come from procurement? It won't come from your allocation. Will it?
Well, unless the procurement can explain that. But what I know, when they supplied my vehicle, when they are going on trek.
Your fuel allocation
Yes,
is the fuel allocation that is personal to you, right?
yes,
Same for the chairman.
yes,
And it's for your trips and the chairman's trips
yes,
and your official duties.
yes,
Any other fuel would be for the administration of the council, even though it's your vehicle they're using, right?
yes.
So ordinarily, it shouldn't come under your banner
That is what should
because
be.
you're not the one signing as receiving that fuel
Yes.
or that fuel voucher or fuel allocation or whatever. It's not you signing, is it?
No,
Do you sign for it?
no.
You don't sign for your fuel?
No, I did not. When we use coupons, then I sign. But when we are not using coupons, it's only the procurement officer who goes to the filling station with the driver.
Is there a reason why you don't use coupons?
Because coupon we have to pay directly before we have the coupons.
So maybe if you actually worked out most of your expenses on payment basis, it would motivate your council to actually collect revenue because you don't collect revenue and you rely on credit because you know that you don't have to collect revenue to get funds.
You are right.
If you know you can't spend unless you get money, maybe you'll be motivated to get money because I don't understand. Sorry, you were going to ask something. No? Okay.
Yes. Well, what I wanted to find out is that, and then would it be true to say that you buy the fuel cash And that is why you don't have the proper supporting documents, like correct vouchers, to prove that you have spent this money on this particular line item in your budget.
That may be true, because
Is what?
I said that is true, because normally when we are going to buy fuel, if the procurement officer is around, he will prepare all the necessary documents. But if he's not around, there will be no
You just
documentation.
take cash and go and buy fuel.
Yes, and when
With no
he
voucher
comes,
raise, yes, with no voucher raise, with no procedure followed.
that is when he comes, then we give him the receipt, then he can
Then
prepare his.
he backdates the voucher and
No, we take the date from the receipt.
from the receipt.
Yes.
But you know that is not correct, right?
Yes.
Now, please let me, before I hand you over to the council. In April 2023, this year,
Yes.
you authorized the cashier to pay 351,959 by cash to staff as salary. What portion of the staff did you pay the salary to? And
Yes.
how is it that it is cash and not bank transaction after everything that has happened and transpired in Basse?
Yes, thank you very much. What really happened this very time, due to the conditions, the prevailing conditions, we don't pay all the salaries at the same time. When there is any amount at Ajib that can pay for the Ajib staffs, we'll pay that. When there is amount in Trust Bank that can pay for the Trust Bank staffs, we'll pay those ones. And because Vista, we are highly indebted, we have to collect money from this other bank and we go and deposit it. So this very time, by the time we have money to pay for the Vista Bank staffs, it was like the following day will be the Corite. So it's like we.
This April 2023?
Yes, it was very close to the feast. And it's like.
So which of the staffs and which bank did you pay this money to pay the salaries?
It's the Vista Bank, but this particular one, I authorize in writing for the finance director to pay these staffs over the counter.
And these are staff that are banking with Vista Bank?
Yes, because the issue is we try to negotiate with Vista Bank so that this money will not sink when we pay. But we are not able to reach an agreement. The Director of Finance himself was the one arrangement for that arrangement so that they will allow us, we pay and they pay that salary to the staffs. But we are not able to reach agreement and it was getting late. So that was why.
So where did you get this 351,959 point?
We got it from
62.
we got it from the other bank. I think it was an overdraft.
So you withdrew the overdraft cash?
Yes.
And then paid over the counter?
Can
you give us the evidence of this money and the overdraft facility and the bank from which this overdraft facility was given? Please note that.
Okay.
Council, you may proceed.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, just let us know when you're done recording. Great. So you said that you don't buy fuel coupons, or you don't get fuel coupons because you have to pay in cash.
Yeah, we used to get fuel coupons, but it went to a certain time we are not able to have it. we went further to arrange for a framework agreement with GNPC and JIOL so that we'll be taking fuel from them and we'll be paying based on our agreement on the framework.
Okay.
But all those things does not work. So it was like cash and carry when we have money.
All those things what?
It doesn't work.
Why?
Yeah, because GNPC said they cannot give us fuel on credit. It has to be cash and carry. Because we went very far with them with the framework agreement, but we have not reached a concession. JIOL we have signed already, but it doesn't hold.
Why?
Yeah, because that time we, were indebted to JIOL.
When was this?
For JIOL, when I took over, I inherited a huge sum of debt with JIOL, and we struggled to pay that. We are not able to.
So the framework agreement you're talking about with JIOL, is it one that you met at the council, or is it one that came into force after you came to the council?
The framework agreement is when I went to the council.
So when did you have that agreement with JIOL?
The records are at the council.
Okay, so can you check and let us know when you had the agreement with JIOL? So you never signed the one with GNPC?
No, we never started.
When your procurement officer is going with the vehicles to the stations to purchase fuel, you're saying he goes with cash? Is that what you said?
The procurement officer will not go with cash. He will go with the cashier who will go with cash. But the procurement officer will be there to
So
supervise.
he'll go and pay cash for the fuel that the council is purchasing?
Yes.
So if he can pay cash for the fuel that he's purchasing, why is it that he can't pay cash for the vouchers?
Well, for the fuel coupons, you cannot buy in bits.
What's the minimum that you can buy?
No, I don't know the minimum, but like what we are buying, like 40 liters, you cannot use that money to buy.
When you were doing the framework agreement, what was the minimum that you were permitted to purchase, and how was it supposed to be purchased?
I could not remember fully what is there, but we have segregated diesel, petrol for the motorbikes, and diesel for the tractors. And other vehicles.
I'm sure that
but it is all
the
it is
fuel
all clear.
provider does not expect you to purchase all your coupons for the year in advance, right?
Yes.
How often did they expect you to purchase?
No, we only purchased fuel coupons once. Because
When was that?
we wanted to carry on with that practice, but
But I know, but you said you went through the framework agreement, you went far with JMPC, right?
Yes.
And it's only about the credit part that you could not agree.
yeah, the framework agreement was about the credit part.
Yes. So how often were you supposed to purchase the fuel in advance? Is it a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months?
1 month.
1 month.
Yes.
So you're saying that the council could not purchase the fuel that it needed a month in advance?
Yes. Council, we don't, for buses, we don't have readily, most of the time, to have that huge sum of money in our account for fuel.
So that it's not just for fuel. You have a budget that you
Yes.
prepare annually in advance.
Yes.
And you're supposed to state what the source of income is going to be.
Mm.
Now, from your budget, it looks like your source of income is expected to be revenue that you're going to get. Only a minimal part of your budget usually says loans, and the maximum I've seen is maybe $3 million a year. So if your loan amount that you're taking is $3 million a year, the rest of your revenue is about, that you're expecting to spend, is about 55 million, 43 million, 30 something million. And you're expected to get the bulk of this amount in revenue. Do you not think that it is partially your fault as a council that you can't get this revenue? Because why are you planning a year in advance if you know you don't have money? Your revenue sources are there, but you're refusing to collect them.
Like I said earlier on, there are two issues surrounding the revenue. One, the issue of collection. Two, the issue of whether all what is being collected is all deposited.
But that's the point, right?
Yes.
Those are the things that you're supposed to follow on.
Yes.
That's why you're the head of the institution.
Exactly.
So all of that, it rests on you.
Yes.
If you're liable to make sure that the council collects its revenue so that it can fulfill the budget, so that it can pay salaries, so that it can pay its bills, so that it can operate, so that it can carry out its development projects. Because quite frankly, if the council does not have money, and like in 2022 you said that, or your staff have said that there was no development plans for 2022, the council isn't existing just to pay salaries. Because if that's it, then there's no point in having the council. It's not just there to employ people, it's there to employ people to carry out development in that area. That's why your budget is 60% that's why your development budget is 60% and your other expenditure recurrent is 40%. So if that's your job, that's what you exist for. If you're not carrying out the mandate for which you exist for, do you need to exist?
No.
So I'm just trying to wrap my head around this whole thing where you keep saying council can't afford it, council can't afford it. It's a different matter if you're doing what you're supposed to do and you can't get the funds. But it's just that you're not collecting. And you have revenue collection devices. In one breath, you're saying that they're not working, but you're also not allowing GTRs to be used and finding another way of monitoring. You're also saying that your revenue collectors are collecting, you can't tell whether they're paying into the banks. I just don't understand, quite frankly, why this is even an issue that you can't solve. How big is your council? You have 37 revenue collectors. How is it that you cannot monitor them? You cannot monitor your collection?
Yes. The issue of machines is one of the reasons. But then, even with the machines that were available, we would have gone ahead to continue collecting. We only stopped. We only had a problem when we have issues with 5C. They deactivated their machines.
They only deactivated the machines for 2 months.
Yes.
And isn't that in 2023?
Yeah. Before that
so
one.
This report is end of 2022. 2021, 2022. You did not collect. I don't want to say you didn't collect anything, but you understand what I mean when I say you did not collect anything. Yes, I understand what you mean. Because it's because of 2021, that's why you had nothing for 2022.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. Those were the reasons I forwarded. That the issue of collectors not able to collect all what is in the field. Two, whether all that is being collected is being deposited. Those were some of the issues that confronted us, and we discovered that, yes, the GTRs are also used in concurrently with the machines. And because I have the monitoring system.
I don't seem to understand the response to the question. Can you please respond to the question so we have a clear understanding of what the answer is?
Okay.
So let me just compact it into, before 2021,
yes,
before the digital revenue collection machines started breaking down or were being destroyed, whichever the case is, you were collecting with GTRs, right?
Before we used
and it was effective.
Yes.
Okay. Then you started using the machines, and your staff, most of them, no longer had access to GTR books.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, all your machines started breaking down or were destroyed.
But there were no instances where we have all the machines stop working.
You had 28 machines when 5C rolled out. You had 20 and then an additional 8.
Yes.
At some point, you only had 17 that were working.
Yes.
For your 37 collectors.
Yes.
At another point, I think in this report somewhere it says that there were only 9 working.
Yes.
So when you notice that quite a high number of your machines, for some reason or the other, are not working, what did you do about this?
I wrote to 5C,
When was this?
and I have the letters here.
Which year?
In 2020, I think in 2021 and in 2022.
Can I
Anytime,
see the
was
ones?
it?
Can I see the 2021 and 2022 letters, please?
Well, this is a whole bunch for 5C. If you can look at this letter, this was 10th November 2020. I have talked about the machines there. This one also is talking about the machines.
Thank you. Where are the originals for this?
They are in the 5C file.
Can you provide the file?
Okay, let me note it.
All right. Chairperson, I applied to tender the letter dated 30th November 2020 from Bassa Area Council to the CEO of 5C Energy, and letter dated 10th March 2023 to the manager 5C Energy.
Yes, this. Yes, this is another letter about the digital machines. Yes, register that. Please.
The letter dated 10th March 2023, addressed to the manager 5C Energy Banjul with reference ADM 10/93/08, signed by Ismaila Sediba, acting admin officer, stroke clerk, for the CEO, Bassa Area Council, and is copied to Chairman, Bassa Area Council, Director of Finance, Planner, Engineer, with the caption. The letter is titled, Request for Machines in order to be able to pay your debt. And a letter dated the 30th of November 2020, written and signed by Usman Ture, CEO, Bassa Area Council, copied to Chairman, Bassa Area Council, Director of Finance, Bassa Area Council, Planner and Engineer, Bassa Area Council. The said letter is addressed to CEO 5C Energy with the heading Review of Partnership / Contract Agreement and other related documents. These two documents are admitted together and marked as LGC stroke OT stroke CEO stroke BSAC stroke 013.
As the Commission pleases. Also apply to tender two letters, one dated 16th October 2020 from Bassa Area Council to the CEO of 5C Energy, and one dated 30th January 2021 from the Bassa Area Council to 5C Energy.
Mr. Ture, is the letter zero collection on Monday, is it 2020? Is it dated 2020?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, during the COVID time, yes.
Yes, the letter dated 16th of October 2020 with reference BSAC/PR/74/118/01 addressed to CEO 5C Energy with the heading Zero Collection.
Technology has always been at the forefront of our lives, and the way we use it has evolved drastically over the years. With the advent of 5G internet, we are entering a new era of technological innovation that promises to transform the way we live, work, and play. 5G internet is capable of providing data speeds up to 100 times faster than 4G, making it the ideal solution for streaming high-quality videos, playing online games, and downloading large files on the go. 5G internet is already transforming cities across the globe, powering smart cities, self-driving cars, and virtual reality experiences that were once thought impossible. 5G internet is also paving the way for Internet of Things, allowing for seamless connectivity between devices and the creation of a truly connected world. For the first time in the Gambia, QCell is bringing tomorrow's technology to you today with the launch of QCell 5G Internet. Get ready to experience the out-of-this-world wonders of QCell's 5G Internet. For more information, call 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now with QCell's 5G network. Experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. QCell moy suñu boss. Go, ebe dawa full network suta tili QCell. Ni lafta diamla wati jamala mune diata QCell. Most reliable network jumala keta wati QCell. Wo quality man nyon soto jam ona manke QCell. Hanibe wulo ni farole kono walante be bakono jala fayola network ko se taria QCell suñu boss. Yo finjeka indi 3